Hi, everybody. It's Kira, your teen librarian here I'm at Rawlings, and no, I'm not wearing my mask because I am in a closed room, and I want to thank Sharon Rice, our makerspace librarian, for letting me use her room so that I could have a bit of peace and quiet, though you still might hear some banging or some voices from outside. I'm here to host our program on Relationships 101. And we are very thankful uh, to Hannah, who is a health specialist from the Pueblo Department of Public Health and Environment, for doing this presentation for us. And I will hand it over to that in a moment. But first, I wanted to tell a little story that's personal. It's my story, doesn't relate to anyone else's experience. But when I was in high school, I didn't learn what was a healthy relationship and what wasn't a healthy relationship and what to do if you weren't in a healthy relationship. And I had a friend, and this friendship was actually quite unhealthy. And it ended up hurting me quite badly. Um, and I didn't really know how to handle it. I was raised Catholic, and that was very important to me. And my friend was actually having a lot of trouble. She was feeling suicidal, and I didn't have the tools or know what to do when somebody that I cared about was having those feelings. When I look back, I think, wow, it would have been so much better had I had those tools, had I known what to do, had I gone to an adult I trusted who maybe could have gotten her some help. But I didn't know to do any of that. And I just thought it was sort of my responsibility to make sure that she stayed safe. And what happened is that essentially, one second, I was, sorry about that. My life became dominated by her. So I could never make plans with anyone else because then I would hear from her that she was feeling suicidal and I had to break all my plans. And I lost all my other friends. And it became unhealthy, not because she meant it to or anything like that, but I didn't have the tools to deal with this. And it became actually really destructive for me. So I think this is a really important thing to learn about. And healthy relationships are appeal to all relationships, your friends, your family, as well as romantic relationships. So I am going to turn it over for Hannah to give her presentation, and I'm going to bite my lip. Also, at the end, I'm going to put back up the sort of cover, but I'm also going to put up a website, and Hannah would really like you to go to that website and fill out a survey about the presentation. So if you could please take the time to do that, that would be fantastic. Okay, so there have been some technical difficulties, and so there are some videos that she plays that don't really work. There's some subtitles, but they sort of seem to freeze, and we're sorry for that, but just sort of wait that out if it's not making sense, and then she'll come back and keep talking. So if that happens, then don't worry, your computer's not broken. It's our technical problem. So just so you know, that is what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to hand it over now. Okay.
Hello, my name is Hannah. I'm a health promotion specialist at the Pueblo Department of Public Health and Environment, and I oversee the Adolescents Pregnancy Prevention Program, and I'm excited today to talk to you about healthy relationships. So what we will discuss today are Relationships 101, healthy relationships versus unhealthy relationships. What if I'm in an unhealthy relationship? And lastly, consent and staying safe online. So, definition of a relationship according to dictionary.com is connection between persons by blood or marriage, or an emotional or other connection between people. So, throughout our life, we have different types of relationships with people, whether that's with family, friends, teachers, other adults, and even romantic ones. That we see in adults, parents, teachers, mentors, actors on TV, or influencers on social media. And sometimes adults don't get it right either. So if you don't have a good example of what a healthy relationship looks like at home, it can be difficult to understand what are the characteristics that make a healthy relationship. But throughout this presentation, we're going to discuss characteristics of good, healthy relationships and characteristics of unhealthy relationships so that your future relationships can be healthy. But regardless of the type of relationship, you deserve to be respected, appreciated, trusted based on your actions, treated fairly, and others deserve to be respected, appreciated, trusted based on their actions, and treated fairly. So kind of looking at the spectrum of characteristics that make a healthy, unhealthy, and abusive relationship, if we look at healthy, it means that you're communicating with one another, being respectful, trusting, honesty, equal, enjoying personal time away from each other. Now looking at unhealthy, not communicating, being disrespectful, not honest, trying to control, only spending time together, pressured into activities, and then moving to abusive, communicating in a harmful or threatening way, mistreating, denying their actions are abusive, controlling, isolating their partner from others. So this is a good kind of spectrum to look at to see what type of relationship you are in. So why are healthy relationships important? So everyone is a part of a relationship. But being in a good relationship helps us know ourselves, develop as a person, grow emotionally, communicate, maintain meaningful bonds with other people. And as well as when we have healthy relationships, we're having fun and enjoy being around that person. So does jealousy equal love? No. Jealousy is about real or imaginated fears. The best way to deal with jealousy is to communicate honestly with your partner. And now we have a short video of healthy and versus unhealthy. So that was a great video to watch to show what are healthy relationships and unhealthy relationships. This next video is about intimate partner violence. So again, that's just another great video to watch for intimate partner violence and just some tips and tricks on how to avoid those types of relationships. So I want you to think, what are some red flags in a relationship? If you were to say physical, emotional, verbal, sexual, financial, digital, or stalking, you are correct. So looking at physical, this would be like scratching, punching, choking, kicking, any of those. Moving on to emotional and verbal abuse, calling you names, putting you down, telling you what to wear, yelling or screaming at you. And for sexual is unwanted kissing or touching, unwanted rough or violent sexual activity. For financial, giving you an allowance or monitoring what you buy. For digital, telling you who you can or who you can't be friends with on social media, sending you negative, insulting, or threatening messages or emails. And then for stalking, showing up at your home, your workplace, unannounced or uninvited, sending you unwanted text messages, letters, emails, or voicemails. The more red flags is texting all the time, wanting to know where you are, who you're with, controlling, demanding all your electronic passwords, non-resolution of past relationships, comparing you to others in a meaningful way, humiliating you, lack of communication, not respecting your wishes, and overall just creating a drama cycle of abuse. So dealing with arguments, it's okay to disagree from time to time, but it's important to fight fair when arguing. And some of the steps on how to do that is talk calmly. I know in a heated argument, we say things that we don't mean. So we want to make sure that we're talking calmly to one another and explaining how you're feeling, saying, when this happens, it makes me feel X, Y, and Z. As well as discuss what you would like to change in the relationship and cooling off. You might need 5 minutes away from each other so that you don't say things that you don't mean because of the heat of the moment. So dating violence. Violence is not a normal part of a relationship. Physical fighting is never okay. And the types of violence and abuse would be emotional, physical, and even sexual. So what if I'm in an unhealthy relationship? You want to create a safe plan. Have an emergency contact ready to call and text, whether that's a friend, a family member, teacher, any of those people. You want to research local resources before you leave the relationship. Our Go Ask Tara has plenty of information and guidance for unhealthy relationships, and also what are good characteristics of a healthy relationship. We also have additional resources. The YWCA of Pueblo Domestic Violence, Pueblo Rape Crisis Center, ThriveWorks, Colorado Crisis Centers are all good resources to have. So what if someone I know is in an unhealthy relationship? You want to listen and don't be judgmental. When we are judgmental, we tend to see them not coming up to us again about serious issues that they might be facing. You want to help them find resources, continue to always be supportive, and check in on them. So consent. What is consent? So an agreement between individuals, can change at any time and should be freely and clearly communicated. Can only be communicated for yourself, not others. And if you're unsure, either don't do it or ask. Consent cannot be given by those who are underage, intoxicated, threatened, asleep, or unconscious. So digital consent, texting. Not everyone's available 24/7. Ask how often your partner likes to be text. Sexting is, especially if you're under 18, is best not to do it at all. Even though if you were able to erase it, it's still out there and can be circling around. For social media, you might want to ask, can I tag you, share photos, locations, relationship status? Again, once on the internet, always on the internet. And then test your knowledge. So, what are the signs of an unhealthy relationship? Is it A, lack of support, B, jealousy, C, being controlling, or D? All choices are correct. If you were to say D, then you are correct. These are all signs of an unhealthy relationship. Number 2, is it okay when your partner spends time alone with friends or family? True or false? This is true. It's okay to spend time alone from each other and spending time with other friends and family members. Number 3, your partner is willing to sit down and talk whenever you disagree. Is this healthy or unhealthy? A, this would be healthy. Whenever your partner wants to sit down and talk to you about something that you disagree on, it's always best to talk it out and try to come up with a new plan to make your relationship healthy. And then we have another video about being safe on the internet. So that's another great video to watch. Amaze.org has amazing videos on every type of relationship information on being safe online, what makes healthy, unhealthy relationship characteristics, all of those. So thank you so much for watching this video. You can text or email all your tough to ask questions about relationships and sexual health to goasktara@gmail.com. All contacts are kept confidential. Thank you so much.
I was muted. I'm a silly rabbit. So that was weird with the videos, right? But you did mention where you could see them, and also Ask Tara is a great resource for any questions you have, and a professional will get back to you, not immediately, but I think it's within 72 hours. Any question you have, which is pretty great. because all of us can have some complicated questions, or some questions maybe we don't want to ask a parent, or we don't want to ask another adult. We feel a little whatever about asking. You can ask there, and it's anonymous, and they will give you a response that is professional and correct. So if you have any questions that you feel odd asking someone you know, then absolutely use that resource, okay? So now I am going to put up the, hold on, the survey stuff. I'm going to put it back on the, I'm going to put it up now. All right. So this is the survey. I know it's long and annoying, but I'm going to ask that you try and go to that site and fill out a survey for Hannah. It will help them. And I would also appreciate it greatly. I want to thank Hannah for putting this together for us. And I want you guys to be conscious of your relationships and whether they're healthy. And if you're feeling uncomfortable and you're feeling like maybe this isn't right, then really think about those red flags and think about the best way to deal with this situation. And it can be hard to get out of an unhealthy relationship, and there are resources out there, okay? Whether it's Ask Tara, or whether it's contacting the YWCA, or something like that. There are ways for you to figure out how to get out of a relationship that's really unhealthy and it's hurting you, okay? And there are unhealthy relationships that aren't necessarily physically abusive. There are other kinds of abuse, and there are other kinds of unhealthiness that can make you feel paralyzed. And I don't want anyone to feel trapped. So if you're feeling trapped in a relationship, please reach out to help. Ask Tara is a great way to do that. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope that everyone is as healthy as they can be physically and emotionally. I know it's been a very tough year and a half, almost 2 years, physically and emotionally. So, I mean, for me and for everyone. So I want you all to take care of yourselves, okay? And take care of the people that you love. Have your eyes out for what's going on in other people's lives too. And, check in on people. Make sure that they're okay. I know I care about you. I may never have met you, and yet I do care about you. And I'm not sort of just saying that. I'm like this weird person who's overly empathetic, and I do care about you, even if I've never met you. I want you to be okay. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be as happy as you can be in this crazy, weird world that we're living in right now. So take care of yourselves and take care of each other, okay? I'll see you later. Bye-bye.